Hello there. My name is Ukoko. Mr. Ukoko is a geologist, but he did all kinds of menial jobs. But, I always love this kind of stories so that you won't think of yourself more highly than you should. So, Mr. Ukoko, what was the journey like?
It was quite dramatic and interesting, as you say. But thank God how far he has brought me, and I know there's still a lot more to do.
That day in church when you said you used to sell akara and pure water, I was like, no, he has to come on this program because nobody looking at you will ever believe you ever sold akara. I know you did your youth service, you trained as a geologist. What happened?
All right, now, when I left school, my father's a tailor.
Okay.
I was trained in London.
Okay.
Very successful tailor. My mother also was a tailor, so both very successful. So when I finished my youth service in 1984,
okay,
I went to the University of Ife. And after my youth service, 85, but there was no job, so I started working with my dad as a tailor.
Okay.
So I could cut and sew.
So if I bring a dress for you now, can you still cut and sew for me?
So it would be difficult.
Okay. Okay.
So I did that for a while, and then in 1986, I moved over to Owerri. A friend of mine set up a business, a company, went into groundwater development, bore drilling, but that didn't last too long. After a year, the company folded up. So there I was in Owerri, in a house, in a bungalow, 3-bedroom bungalow.
No money, no job.
And no money, so that was a very, very challenging time for me. I knew how to get by. So I remained there, we were trying to
make ends meet.
To make a breakthrough, so I got in touch with the then director of DIFRI, Mr. S.K. Kalu, who's late now. He's a very wonderful man. He took a liking to me, and he started giving me, if I had my pick of the jobs I wanted to do, I said, no, I want to do this job, I don't want to do that job, and he let me do what I wanted to do. He supported me. The first job he gave me was to do a borehole somewhere to Bakala, to drill a water borehole, install the pump and everything. I didn't have one dime. He gave me a job with it. So when he gave it to me, I said, that's very nice, thank you. So I was going to him, say, so what is? I said, I don't have much to do this job. So he laughed. He said, how much will it cost to do the job? So I told him, I said, it's going to cost me so much. I'm going to hire a rig, buy the casing pipes, all the drilling chemicals. I don't have a dime. So he said, okay. So he called his bank manager and said I was going to send somebody over to him. So he gave me a note. So I went there. I didn't know what the note was. I gave it to the bank manager. He looked at it and said I should wait. Took me to his office, came back and gave me money. And he gave me the check for the second payment. We went and got a job done. And, so it was like that. So most of our jobs were coming and going. Then the guy left the job. He was removed. Nigerian political appointments. He left. And of course, I stopped getting the job. They didn't like me there. They felt, who's this guy from Glendale that's
coming to get all the jobs here.
Get all the jobs here, and so then I got an appointment to work with UNICEF as a consultant. The UNICEF regional office in Enugu. So I went there, and then we're working on guinea worm eradication. So I was in charge of 4 states in Enugu states, 4 local government areas: Isuzo, Kanu, Igbo-Etiti, and Ogu. So to go around and look at their water sources and then find how to intervene, to eradicate guinea worm. While I was in Enugu, I met my wife. She was working with rank cells as a supervisor. And right from the onset, we were going to get married, so there was no hanky-panky. So we got married. Then I finished my consultancy job. So we got married. I moved back to Owerri. No job. My wife was working. We had the first baby. I started babysitting. But then,
So your wife will go to work and then you babysit.
Yeah, so, but then it was at the point she said, man, she's going to quit to take care of the baby. Well,
obviously, you were not doing a good job taking care of the baby, were you?
Well, I was doing my best.
Okay.
So she quit her job against my judgment, but well, she did it. She quit, so there we were.
So two of you jobless, a baby, and two big mouths to feed.
Right, yeah. And this was a very challenging time. This was 1993, 94. It was extremely difficult. But then we had two friends, Wori, Eddie, Mukuru, and Sylvester Bini, very good friends. And they gave us a lot of support, money here and there. And at a point, man, it got so high. One day I just took my car. Because I said, hey, come on, man, let's go take a drive. I said, you know what? We're going to start carrying passengers today. But I mean, I couldn't do it on my own. So I needed someone to stay with me. So he stayed with me and we did it. And
so you were doing kabu kabu. Hold the thoughts. See you after this time out. Trials, tribulations, persecutions, adversity, and pain know neither gender, status, religion, race, but purpose always overcomes pain. Join us as we celebrate men and women who will, on this program, share with us a word they received that triggered an adversity, the persecution that propelled a vision, the travail that birthed a song, the hurt that they turned into a halo, the pain that gave birth to the purpose, and the test, a testimony. We'll also revisit the well from where they drew strength to go the extra mile in enduring the ridicule that became the miracle. Join us as we celebrate the story behind the glory, and that's to the glory of God. Maybe I should have titled this program A Season at a Time. Who knows? But I still believe that His Word made flesh is still the best, because God ordains us for that which He wants us to be. You're welcome back. So, now, how were you doing as a kabu kabu driver? Were you able to make ends meet, or just were still managing?
Well, was it managing? I mean, well, it was enough to
feed the baby?
Yes, at least. It was not to starve. Fuel the car.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, most of the money went back into taking care of the car. So that was a very, very good business. So, but then my landlord was an exceptional man, John Kanu.
Of course, obviously, you couldn't pay rent.
No, I was owing rent. You see, but he never really bothered me. He said, anything you have money, pay. You know what I mean? And it was interesting, because even before we got married, I was already owing about 6 months of rent. So I said, okay, my wife said, okay, let's go pay this rent. So we went to his house and said, well, I said, this is my fiancé, we're going to get married, but I want to clear the rent. He said, no. I said, but you need the money for your wedding. I said, yes, we do, but you've got to clear this rent. He said, no, we said, I will clear the rent, at that time. So got married. Getting married was a challenge, really, because we didn't have any time, but we did. We got married, and so when this baby came, and
added responsibilities.
It was more difficult, having to do kabu kabu, having friends supporting. It was really difficult. Then in 1995, the landlord came and said he wanted to sell the house. Yeah, and I loved it. It was a beautiful house. I loved that house. Until I wanted to sell the house. Wow, I said, well, this is tough. So anyway, we had to move. So we located from Owerri to Ibuzo, near Saba, and there again was the same struggle, Yeah, I did kabu kabu. The one I said, man, this is not what I am. I'm a geologist. What are we doing this thing? So when I went to see a friend, he said that he heard that they were going to do a borehole at the Federal Government Girls College in Ibuzo. I said, well, I didn't hear of it, and that is my base. So luckily, the principal of the school, Mrs. Elwe, who was the wife of the former deputy governor of Delta State, Elwe, is a friend to my mother-in-law. So I said, Mom, you said Mrs. Elwe is a friend. I said, let's go see her now. She said, okay, hang on, because my wife traveled to Lagos then. I said, when Nika comes back, we'll go and see her. I said, no, we're going to see her today. He said, well, let's see. I didn't tell her what I wanted to see her right there and then. He said, let's wait. I said, okay, let's see her. So when I saw her, so I said, this is my son-in-law. He said, what's the geologist? He said, wait, that's what we're looking for. We're going to do a borehole here, and this is what we want the person to do. I said, well, I can do it.
Being a geologist, and then things were going this way. You were doing all these menial jobs. How did it make you feel? Did you feel any lesser person? Did you feel disappointed? Did you feel, after spending all those years in the university?
You know, interestingly, somehow I always knew deep inside that things were going to turn out right, you know. Like my wife always said, once in a while she say, hey, look, let's set up a shop, you know, a tailoring shop, you can sew, let's set up a tailoring shop. And I said, yeah, and I can sew, but I'm a geologist, I'm not a tailor. I said, this is what I want to do, this is what I've always loved to do, and this is what I'm going to do.
So at what point were you selling akara and all?
Okay, yeah, now, good. Now, when I did the borehole in the Federal Government Girls College,
yes.
It was a very successful job. It was one of the very first successful boreholes in the bush. It's a very
yes.
difficult geological terrain to drill in. You know, so when I did it at a far lesser price than every other person who quoted for the job.
Because you desperately needed the job.
Yes. You know, people were amazed. So when they heard, hey man, they want a borehole. So I started drilling boreholes, you know, everywhere in the bush. So then things got a bit stable. But of course the job didn't come in one after the other. One came, you did the job, you had some money.
And then by the time you wait for another job,
the money's all gone, then another job comes, you know, so it was that way. Now in the school, then I heard, because when I was going on in this place, I heard that sometimes, twice a week, they gave the children, it wasn't like it was mama.
Okay, mama.
And there were some people who were given the contract to prepare the mama and supply. So I went to the principal, I said, I said, I hear, she said, yeah, I said, well, I want to, I said, of course I can make it. So we'll make it. He said, okay. So she called one of the head teachers. I said, give him allocation to make so many wraps of palm. I think it was 300 every Thursday and Tuesday and Thursday thereabouts. So I said, okay, we'll do it. So we went out, got a sack of beans. Well, now the funny thing, we didn't know how to remove the shell from the mama. You can imagine having to wash maybe half a bag of beans with hand to remove the shell.
Yes.
We started making that mama at about 6 in the evening. We didn't finish until 4 a.m. When it was firewood, which we hadn't done before. So it was really difficult. You know, so we did that, but out of that, we got so good at
doing it.
On my own, I would make the mama, and by midnight it was all done, packed. 5:30 a.m. I delivered it to the school and it was done. Then I heard again that the school was going to, they wanted new uniforms for the new students.
So your tailoring skills came in.
So I can see the uniform. So she gave me the sample. I went over to nature, bought the clothes, and sewed the uniforms. Just me and my wife. I cut, she sewed, I sewed. Sewed off through the night time. Within 3 days we finished everything and delivered it. So it was so difficult at that time. Now, once in a while, things got so bad that we had to go. Let's go visit my mother-in-law, my parents, or my in-laws.
So you can have food to eat.
And you can forget your sorrows, you can forget your troubles. You know.
And then tell us about your wife's okra soup, the okra soup.
Okay. Yes, that was no worry. You know, then now there's this okra pepper soup.
Yes.
It was okra. So all you need just okra, water, some native spices.
Yes.
Maybe fish, crayfish. That's all you need. At that time.
Add plenty of water.
Yes.
So
At that time, maybe with 5 nights, you could cook the soup that would last for a day. So, I mean, it became a specialty, you know, because then at least, you know, you can have enough food for 1 week. Everybody around us envied us, as it were. You know, because we carried ourselves, they didn't really know what we were going through, except my 2 close friends, Eddie and Sylvester. You know, they really knew what we were going through. Most other people didn't know, you know, and I remember then Mrs. Elway, the principal of Federal Girls College, and just tell her son, say, look at this guy. He's a geologist. Say, but you won't know he's ready to do anything as long as it's legitimate. Because every job, I think I built a set of toilets for the school even. If I did anything that needed to be done. At the point in where I was, you won't believe it, I was servicing fire extinguishers. You know? So, but I mean, we have to get by. And then once in a while, my wife would ask me, she would say, so what is your goal? What are your dreams? I said, you know what? She said, because she gets worried. She doesn't know where we're going to. Things are not really working out right. I said, you know, right was something tells me that everything's going to be all right. You know, that things are going to be all right. Now, interestingly, when I left school in 1985, after my youth service, October 85, I went for an interview with golf at Chevron. And I did well. I mean, when you do an interview, you know you did well. But I didn't hear from them. In March of 86, I went for an interview in Shell. I know I did because I saw the scores. I had the highest score. So I said, well, this is it, I've got this job. So I went back, I was going back to Warri, so I stopped over at Ife, my school, to see my prof, Professor Rahman. So he said, hey, Ukoko, how is golf? I said, golf? He said, yes. I said, what in golf? He said, what do you mean I was in golf? He said, you went for an interview? I said, I did. He said, yes. He said, you were supposed to have started work on the 1st of February. I said, I didn't hear from them. So he sat on the step and said, don't tell me that. I said, I didn't hear anything from them. He said, oh my goodness. I said, that's not fair. I said, well, I didn't hear anything from them. I said, no, what about the case? I'm just coming from Shell interview right now. I said, so. He said, fine. I said, go back and tell some person that I don't see any funny stories. You got to get this job. So I went, told my friend, I said, look, I have this job. Please help me find out what's going on. A friend made the then head of recruitment, and what I came back was that the interview was cancelled.
Hold the thoughts, hold the thoughts. You know, the Bible says, do not despise the days of humble beginnings. It says, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and he will exalt you in due season. When we come back, Mr. Chris Ukoko will tell us what life is like today with that same man that did all those menial jobs. See you after this time out. Trials, tribulations, persecutions, adversity, and pain know neither gender, status, religion, race, but purpose always overcomes pain. Join us as we celebrate men and women who will, on this program, share with us a word they received that triggered an adversity, the persecution that propelled a vision, the travail that birthed a song, the hurt that they turned into a halo, the pain that gave birth to the purpose, and the test, a testimony. We'll also revisit the well from where they drew strength to go the extra mile in enduring the ridicule that became the miracle. Join us as we celebrate the story behind the glory, and that's to the glory of God. Glad you're still here. So, Mr. Ukoko, today, what's going on in your life?
All right. In 1997, my mom came over to my house one day in the booth and said she heard that they were asking for applicants for geologists in Shell. I said, I'm not interested. And I've done it once and they didn't take me, even though I had this good score. Okay, so I don't think it's a fair process. I don't want to waste my time. She said, well, just try. I said, I don't want to waste my time. She said, try. So I sent in my CV. And after a month or two, they go back to me, send some forms, I filled the form, send them out, and then went through the process, and I got a job in 1999, April. So I started working in Shell in Warri, and after a few months, we were transferred to Port Harcourt, and then in 2004, I was posted to the USA, to Houston. They had this youth weekend. One day I shared my story, and they were all amazed. And I said, so when you see people who you think are successful, they have a story.
But the thing is that most of them who are successful refuse to tell their stories for the ones to know.
Yeah, that's very wrong, because I have a friend. Most times, I'm not a preacher, but I just tell my story. I say, well, this is what I've gone through, and this is what God has done for me, And sometimes if you remain, see, one thing you must have is hope. If you don't have hope, you can't have faith.
And the thing is that some of them who really don't even have the hope, when they get to hear stories like yours,
it stirs up the hope.
It stirs up, yes.
But when people see you, they don't know that
you've been through all those.
So we need to share the stories so people can understand that the man you see today may not be the person that he was 10 years ago. And it doesn't matter where you are today, what you're going to be tomorrow is different. The Bible says, it says, see that man diligent in his business. Diligence. Whatever you're doing, do it well.
No matter how menial,
yes. Just do it well. And it will set you up for something better. So
So how are you doing in Shell today? How
Well,
is it?
it's been an interesting story in Shell. I mean, like I said, I joined in '99, and within 4 years, when I joined, at the time I joined, a lot of us who joined, all of us who joined on about the same time, I was the first to get promoted to the next level, and then I went on cross-posting pretty
Early.
quickly too, so people were surprised that it happened that fast. But I thank God for everything. And we were in Houston for 3.5 years, had a wonderful time. Then when it was time to come back, that was when we had a house we wanted to sell, but then
Yes.
that was when the economy started going down.
Yes, so
you
you
won't believe it, I put my house on the market,
and you sold
it was
it.
sold. And the person who bought the house did not even see the house with his eyes. He was paid. He was faxed the documents, and he signed and faxed them back.
Looking back, if you had gotten the Shell job at that time, what do you think? Where do you think you'd be today?
I'll be in a different. You see, now I always tell my wife, I said, if I got the job at that time, because now after the interview,
Yes.
I was very confident. I said, I know I did very well. So I would have been arrogant and proud. Now, when I went for the interview this time around, after how many years? 13 years, 12 years. After the interview, I felt, oh my God, I said, man, I've messed up. I didn't do well at all. But then I got the job. So now I know it is not by my power,
yes.
it is the hand of God.
Yes.
It was a favor of God. The first time, if God had given me the job at that time, I would have felt so conceited.
That is because you are intelligent.
Smart, and I knew what I was doing. I knew I had passed the test. So God said no. God said, He resists the proud, but gives
Gives to the humble. Looking back in all those years, all those menial jobs you did, how do you feel today?
I feel satisfied. You see, now, and what it does for me now, when I see somebody going through rough times, I can empathize with them. You know, now if somebody tells me, man, I've not eaten for 2 days,
You understand?
I understand. I don't doubt him. I don't doubt. I know it's possible because I've been through that before. There was a day I had to walk. I had to go visit a friend. He's a banker in Owerri. I had to go visit him one evening because I had nothing to eat. So I went to his house. I got there about 7 in the evening.
Maybe when you thought maybe they'll be serving dinner.
Yeah, well, I knew he'd be home from work.
Okay.
So I went there, and he had a visitor, and the visitor was staying too long, you know, so I don't think this will be so. So the visitor said, man, I'm not eating today. So he told the husband, make it, but they brought it by 8. I thought I want the second round. You know, so I mean, so I understand if someone says, man, I've not had anything to eat all day. I know it's possible because I've been through that before.
But you've realized that it's just for a time and a season. Mr. Chris, thank you very, very much for coming to share your story.
Thank you.
I know that the Bible says that there is no temptation that has overtaken you that is not common to man, but with every temptation, he will make a way of escape. And you telling your story today, you have made a way of escape for someone out there watching. Thank you very much. And hi, your beautiful children. You have such amazing, beautiful children, and your wife. My regards to them. God bless you, and thank you very much for coming. We'll see you after this time out. You know, when I hear stories like this, I have this unspeakable joy because when God has delivered you, you have no shame, absolutely none, in telling your story. Because when you look back, those tough times actually strengthen you. And like the children of Israel, having gone through the wilderness, God says to them, hope when you get to that promised land, you will not say your hands did it for you. And when you know that it's God's grace that has put you in the position where you are, it better keep you humble. Thank you for sharing your time with us. And please, if you have any story to tell us, feel free to send us an email. I believe that if people who have made it or arrived tell their stories, our youth will know that it's a process. They don't have to go into crimes, into internet fraud and all those kinds of things. Do not despise the days of humble beginnings. Until I come your way another time, my name is Ukoko, meaning God's will, perfect will of God. Have a wonderful week ahead of you.